everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Almost didn't get that out. And welcome to your Tarot, Oracle, and Love Connections for the first half of October readings. And as in true fashion, for those that are new, welcome to my channel. I always appreciate new and returning viewers. You're everything. You're the reason I have this channel. And it is my deepest pleasure and passion to read and share the messages from Spirit with you. So I will always have a reading for every single zodiac sign for the beginning of the month and the mid-month, as long as I'm able to do so. And so, as I mentioned, we're on the first half of the month now. And the beautiful thing is I get to pick a featured sign, which is, one of the signs, and I go around the zodiac wheel. And today, the beautiful featured sign, which means the reading is predominantly for, as well as a highlighted connection that I read 4 major categories for with the Tarot, and then end up with 2 Oracle divination messages that are just so powerful and filled with love. So stick around. We got a few things to share with you today for sure. And today's featured sign is the beautiful air element, balanced, scaled, striving for balance, I should say, Venus ruled sign of Libra. And as I'm recording these, it's not quite October, but we're definitely coming around the corner. We are definitely in the Mercury retrograde, which will last through October 18th, and it is in the sign of Libra. So therefore, many Libras will be feeling this on a more personal level. I'll just put it that way. It is definitely an internalizing time for all of us when retrogrades occur in all signs and all, planets. But Mercury particularly affects us because it is the fastest moving planet. And we really notice it because it does appear, and although it's not actually happening, that things are going backward or slowing way down. There's more confusion when it comes to our mind and our conversations, and just the clarity of what's being said or what others are maybe thinking they're hearing from you, how we go about it, whether it's through written, spoken, any kind of, thought processes or conversations tend to be a little skewed at this time. I find myself tripping over my words from the moment the shadow period starts with the Mercury retrograde, because we have the shadow, then the actual retrograde, and the shadow. It happens 3, it'll happen 4 times next year. It's about 6 months out of the year. So we're all very much, not all, but many of us are very, very accustomed to it. And we just have to recognize the signs and say, okay, here we go. And mostly I always say, just let go. Just be very aware and being flexible, and the changes that'll occur, whether you realize them or not, they will happen. And just take it in and just enjoy and relax and retreat and take time to review certain things you've been working on already and just kind of perfect those and keep your mind focused on that instead of something brand new. Technology is a little funky. I'm always hoping that all my videos will upload. And we do have Mars in your sign too, Libra. Happy birthday, Libras. Anybody's birthday that happens to be today. And well, during the month of October, we certainly had, starting the beginning of Libra season was the 22nd of September. So all of the Libras that have passed birthdays, the first deacon, as they say, and just bringing you so much love and recognition that balance is essential now, more than ever, because of the retrograde, for sure. But as a whole, it's always important for Libras, and relationships are so key for Libras of all types. And I always say my love connections are all types of relationships, and not only romantic, but definitely romance is involved for many of the Libras that I've known. And just really wanting to be fair and to be more in tune with the needs of others comes to mind. It's not unnecessary, even though we're more introspective about what we do need to do and how we can work things through, and we think about a lot, air signs always think about everything a lot. Just honestly wanting it to be for the reasons that are best for everybody, that we can honestly be truthful to ourselves about, because truth gets revealed at this time. We get down to the nitty-gritty, and we really we really can learn and grow and evolve from these times. That's the whole purpose. To stop and maybe take those vacations and take that time and not be in a rush and be patient, right? It's a virtue for sure. So what I love to do, Libra, is, as always, for those that are new and aren't familiar, and those coming back, once again, thank you. I appreciate your support greatly. And I'm going to pick a highlighted connection that Spirit would like you to know specifically about for the first half of October. This highlighted connection, which is another astrology sign, maybe somebody you're very familiar with and maybe connected with in some form or fashion, you know, as we speak and as this sign comes up. But maybe it isn't at all. Maybe you're not aware of this person, or energy isn't affecting you yet, but it certainly can. And it does pertain to people coming back in your life when we have retrogrades. It's notoriously known for that as well. To remind you to end something, to have that final, you know, karmic lesson, you know, finished and completed. And that's always a beautiful thing too, you know. But yeah, so this highlight connection will have importance in some way. Spirit always knows exactly what it's doing, right? You can't question Spirit. I don't. I'm just the messenger, right? So for you, beautiful, well, I love this. And it happened, I'm pretty sure it happened beginning of the month for you. I'm sorry, the last part of September, the second half of September. Could be wrong, but I'm feeling pretty strong about it. It's Sagittarius. One of my favorites. No, actually, I'm thinking it was Aquarius, which is also excellent. Another air sign. I digress. Sagittarius is a beautiful, beautiful element for you Libras. And Sagittarius is a fire sign. And Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter happens to be in the sign of Aquarius, your fellow air sign. It is in retrograde through, I believe, the 18th, when also Mercury goes forward. So anytime you have Jupiter, the benevolent, giving, lucky, opportunity-filled, life-changing, you know, incredible, I don't know, just magical things that happen. I don't know how else to express it, as simple as possible. It's a beautiful time for so many things, and it changes your life for the next 12 years because it takes 12 years to get to each and every sign. So here you have Sagittarius, who's ruled by Jupiter, which is great luck. And like I said, just this, you know, optimistic kind of beautiful energy that exudes from Sagittarians. They're very, very interested in higher learning and truth, and they are freedom seeking, and they are adventurous, and they love to travel, and that there's so many things that you love. They're fun, you know, it's just easy to have conversations with, because you love to talk, right, Libra, and you love to continue to get your mind to grow and learn, and that it's just a perfect, beautiful, you know, air and fire is a wonderful combination for the elements. And yeah, we've got Aquarius with Jupiter happening. There's some really fortunate things I think are coming your way. I think they already have happened, and I think they're going to continue. And when it's your birthday season, which it will be from, you know, September 22nd through the 22nd of October, Libra, you can put out special wishes and you are heard. And people laugh about that, but I do it every year. I am a Libra as well. I am not giving up on that opportunity. And it may come in a different way. It may appear in different ways, but I don't really think so. I think now, with the opportunity of retrograde to kind of just really be within yourself and be introspective and be real and take some time and really, you know, as you tend to do, I think a lot of us do before, you know, when we have a change in our life for a birthday or a year, and we look back and we think, okay, this is what happened, and this is what I've done, and this is where I want to go. And it's really strong, and it's really powerful. And you have a new moon in your sign, Libra, on the 6th. So that's only going to bring the momentum that much brighter. So this retrograde is different than other retrogrades for you. You have Mars in your sign right now. Mars is the power planet, you know, the warrior, the aggressor, and it's not necessarily in your nature, but it's going to bring it out if it's there, and it's going to give you that strength and courage and, you know, energy bottom line, excess energy. It's going to be there through the end of October, I believe October 30th. So that's going to help you a lot with, regardless of the stalls and the, reschedulings and the changes in plans and all that with retrograde. It's really not an issue with Jupiter also a few times in the month conjuncting your sun, to where it's overriding. Let's just say it's overriding the possible, delays and conflicts that occur. They just do, they're the ones that you're like, okay, I'm going to relax and I'm going to let go and let be. And still you have this feeling of like, oh, okay, I knew that, but it still feels a little weird because I'm thinking about it too much. Let that go too. Got some great things happening. And Sagittarius is there to really emphasize that. And, Sagittarius is half man, half horse. They shoot their arrow and there's just like, there's the stars. And that's the representation of the tarot card for Aquarius, the star. Keep your eye on the prize. Believe with everything you have, because you have incredible energetic energies working with you and co-creating with you, and especially in your solar return time. So excellent. Mutable sign, that Sagittarius. You're a cardinal sign. You're a doer, a mover, a shaker. You brought in the beautiful season of fall, which is one of my favorites. I guess that makes sense since we're born around this time. But it's so pretty, the colors. And we, being ruled by Venus, love the aesthetics. We love to be around beauty. We really do. I don't care for discord and ugliness. And I'm not saying that, this room is impeccable, but I do work at it in small ways with my budget. And I just prefer that. It just makes me feel good and balanced when I see things are kind of in order and there's beautiful colors. And that's how I feel about this deck. Now, I'm going to be reading 4 major categories, as I always do, for the highlighted and every single one of your love connections, okay? Because relationships, like I said, are key for you, Libra, and it doesn't have to be romantic. It absolutely has to do with self-love. That's how we are our best with everybody. When we have that feeling for ourselves, we can admit it way easier to others. And that's what we want. And we want to have and acquire great friendships that are reciprocated and long-term and genuine and caring and everything we want to be and hope to be for others. And it's a key highlighted aspect. Let me just say that, which it normally is anyway, but especially now. So that feels really good. And so I am using this beautiful new deck that is the Hush Tarot. So it kind of goes into the latter part of October, right? As I feel, and I'll be changing the deck then, but nevertheless, it has amazing colors and illustration. It combines earth and spiritual world and animals all together. So it's really phenomenal. And I'm glad that I picked this and bought this, because it's really working well, though there's a lot of repeat messages. I'm just shuffling them as much as I possibly can. I have had a couple of new ones that came out in the last reading or two, but still repeated ones that we all are needing to know, which is pretty amazing, which is why I love doing readings. But going on with reading, your first category is the overall energy bringing you to the reading, Libra. And it is, it's always interesting to see what will happen if you weren't able to watch the second half of September reading. You might want to take another look at that and or definitely watch your moon, rising, ascendant, or Venus messages, because sometimes they resonate even more than your sun sign, which is basically what my readings are about. The sun sign, the first house, your solar return, your birthday seasons, your impetus and your energies and your desires and your likes and who you attract and who you want to attract and what you want to do in your life and how you want to look and so forth. That is the first house, the sun sign aspect, So what you have for the first energy, overall energy, bringing you with this beautiful highlighted Sagittarius. Oh my goodness, there you go. There you are in all of your glory, just feeling it, feeling your energies. The Ace of Swords. You're in your element. It's your time. It is your solar return. And with Mars, this is new. This is transformational energy. This is beginnings. This is you setting your sights and making those intentions for that new moon happening in your sign, which is, you have a full moon and a new moon every year. We each do, each sign. This is a powerful one. What do you want to do? What do you want to see happen for the remainder of the year into the next year? What are you going to provide, and what are you going to set your intentions on? This is what it's about. This is the time during the retrograde to really think about that and to immerse yourself in it, because what you put out there is what's going to occur. It just is. So it's a beautiful, beautiful picture as well. You've got the horse. Looks almost like what is it? What is the one with this unicorn? Wishes, imagination, dreams. You know, we had a full moon in Pisces, which is still probably affecting all of us. It was so powerful. Pisces is the biggest part of our imagination. Neptune is in Pisces. That's the underworld, the kind of cloudy, obscure, but fantasy life, just dreamy, creative, intuitive, psychic, unlimited possibilities, no boundaries with Pisces, just allowing all the good in and better, just starting your own, whatever it is, and feeling so confident. You're going to do the best. You are good at what you do, believing in that so that others believe it too. Okay? Look at those colors, the peaches and the beautiful, I want to say the passion for our second chakra, the passion, the sensuality of everything, and just really love, passion, emotion. They say that, Earth's, air signs are very detached, and a lot of times we are, and we appear that way, but we definitely have emotions. We're just trying to separate it during times of importance, and when we're focused and we want to really understand and strategize and recognize all the different possibilities. It's a thought, it's a continuum, we're just really focused. But yeah, there's great passion there too. There's a lot of passion, and that's the feeling part of our lives that all of us have. So wonderful, wonderful to have that beginning that'll coincide so well, the ace that you can attract and start whatever it is you want to start. Maybe it's in cahoots, I was going to say, with a fellow air sign as well, Gemini or Aquarius. But with that energy and beautiful aspect, which goes forward, like I said, the Jupiter will start to build its luck and its magic from the 18th on, when retrograde also goes forward again, Mercury retrograde. So I feel like there's going to be some really divine intervention here and some real beautiful support from the universe coming through. Writing it down, making those dreams true. The second category is the possible blessings or obstacles. That's part of life, right? The yin and yang and the scales, the up and down, always wanting to strive for the balance, but working through times where it's not always feeling balanced. And by the way, I've not picked that card either before, which I'm really happy about, but oh, okay. Interesting, coming right next to the Ace of Swords is the Death card. Now, it's perfect because the Death, yes, it represents death. And yes, oh my gosh, there's been so many losses in the last year and a half, but throughout our lifetime. I have lost people. I have lost dear ones, and many people have. And my heart goes out to all of us, and I pray every day for everybody to, to heal and to get through the toughest times. It just takes an individual amount of time, and there's never a specific time. I know this, and I just send the Reiki healing energy to the world and see it as light and restored and in perfect order. But it also is the card that represents the Scorpion energy. And right now we're going to be getting more of the planets will be entering into Scorpio by the end of October. And then when we enter into Scorpio season on the 22nd, Scorpio is your second house. This is of other people's money. This is of inheritance, life, death, transformation, once again, from not literal death a lot of times. It's definitely a death of something that needs to stop. Maybe an activity you're doing or something to your body that just isn't working anymore. And you need to have that stop because you need to have your health, and your health is your wealth. And Your wealth is an ability to get out and socialize and do all the things you love and be in relationships and have the connections and feeling the strength and everything to do so. So this is actually quite beautiful for you. It's ending of the things that are not working, transforming, reinventing yourself in some way, shape, or form. And it's powerful. I'm telling you, Scorpio is an intense sign, but it's also extremely dedicated and psychic and caring and ruled by Pluto. It is the most transformational planet. Something's changing and it feels right and it feels like it's time. And that's a double whammy with the change. There's the beginning and the change that took place in order for that beginning to happen. So it's actually wonderful. And what beautiful colors, like I said, so fall-like. I'm still just picking these cards away. They're just phenomenal. So yes, that is hopefully making sense. And it may not make sense now, but I can almost positively tell you by the full moon, which I don't even know exactly when that is, between the new moon on the 6th and the full moon, which will be in Aries, your polar opposite. Honestly, there's going to be some amazing things, and it definitely will cater a lot to relationships. So things will start or they'll end, and you know what? That's perfect in itself. That's the way it needs to be. That's exactly what you'll be shown, so that you can live your highest good for all involved. And the third category is the category of finances. And that is an energy, and it's important. And I know I think about it all the time as a business owner and, sole proprietor. It is what we need to sustain ourselves in this material world on the 3D level, right? But it doesn't always have to be financial. It doesn't always have to be the currency of money. It is about wealth, the whole idea of wealth. What does that mean to you? What is that? What does it mean? Is it money, or is it the relationships, the family, the animals you care for and just absolutely have so much love for? Is it your body? Keeping it in its best form and, really working every day to stay as healthy as possible? We'll see what the cards have to say. They always give us a glimpse, okay? They're not the absolute, and absolutely not, I never claim that this is what will happen. It's just that these are guidance and they're messages for our journey to kind of help us along the way. We can do what we choose. It's always free will. But for your financial card, okay, you have the 10 of Swords. Oh, okay. Well, first of all, you have a lot of energy that you're feeling. You are absolutely in your energy. And as an air sign, go figure, a lot of thoughts, a lot of concerns, a lot of worries, a lot of backstabbing, gossipy kind of stuff going in the world. And you're just like, I cannot. I need to put an end and a death to allowing myself to be taken in and absorbing it, number one. Keeping myself up over things I have no idea about. It's only things that may have occurred in my past. As an air sign, I know better now. I know that my heart can lead my head, and I can actually just listen to my intuition and my higher power that guides me in the way I need to be guided, and tune out the stuff that just isn't going to make you feel good, okay? You are done with that, Libra. The 10 represents a new cycle. So there we are. We've got Ace, Death, and 10, which is a new cycle. I don't know about you, but something's changing, and it's going to be great because everything needs to change in order to grow, right? And that's exactly what your beautiful year this year is telling you, aside from being a different age. And, I say to myself, oh my gosh, that happened fast. I am actually on my last quadrant of my life, because you never know exactly how long that'll be. But I am, and I'm so happy. I don't know. It's just, I'm different, and my body's different, and, a lot of things are different, but I just am so grateful to be alive and doing well. And that's what this is about. This is about focusing on that and letting go of all of this and just, you're done, start over, release these thoughts, release the fears, surrender, you know, whatever you need to do. Recognize your finances are going to be fine. You don't need to worry about it. You don't need to control everything. And by the way, I'm a control person. I know this. I've known it for years. This is another example of letting you know that you do not have to be in control of everything. You can control how you perceive things and how you receive things. Absolutely. That is on you, Libras. But otherwise, under the financial category, I think you've just been putting too much emphasis on what you think logically needs to happen. We're going to let go of logic, okay? We're going to do that. We absolutely are. And you're going to be finding things out. They'll come. It'll come naturally. It always does. You're being guided and helped always. So the final category is that of surprises and wishes, okay? And if I'm going to be really honest with you, which I am, I would say you're interested in knowing about, you know, your stability and your practical aspect of life and the income. Are you going to be comfortable? I don't know about wanting to, you know, win millions and billions of dollars, but you would need to play the lottery to do so. And I understand it's really high in the Northern American, you know, here in California. So why not? Can't win unless you play, right? But seriously, I feel like that's a part of a good percentage of the Libras. And, well, let's just see what your card has to say. What the messages are for that. Because there's many Libras that have no concern about that whatsoever. And there is that balance there. But for those that are, I've already made it clear that there is a change in your income. And your worries are not going to be there for much longer, okay? You have a new cycle, so there's all sorts of possibilities and opportunities and invitations coming through. Your final surprises and wishes category card, though, is the Five of Pentacles. Okay, well, this is one of those things where we have these feelings like, oh my gosh. And we all do this, especially as an air sign, but it's about our practical life. It's about feeling like we don't have enough sometimes. It's like thinking, oh my gosh, my mindset, it's of scarcity. It has to be. If you're like me, and I'm a spiritual person who believes that we're creating our thoughts every moment, and they do become our things. And there were times when I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, it was so good, and now this and that. I do it. I go through that. But the reality is that it's always going to happen like that. There's always going to be dips. There's always going to be times if I didn't sleep enough, I'm just more emotional. I'm more sad. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't get a call from so-and-so I thought we were supposed to hear. Why did they reschedule it? It's nothing personal. You are so loved, Libras. We're all loved. And we need to recognize that for ourselves and realize, okay, this is just a passing thing. There's, in the depiction of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, there's two people that are very, you know, kind of hunched over, and they're in the snow and they're cold and they're just like feeling unhappy. Let's just be real about it. And there's a beautiful stained glass window ahead, just above them, you know, with this bright, brilliant light, which I think is source and our idea of God and guidance and protection and divine intervention, right? Right there. Always there. And they just have to look up and remind themselves of that. So yes, it's okay to have those days that are off, but not for long. Not for long, because there's always something to recognize. We have more than enough. There's always going to be more than enough. And yes, if you've gone through a time when you're like, oh, I just can't, it's all, I'm done. And that's usually the point that happens when it's the 10. You're done. And then that's what, you're on your knees, and then you go to the next phase where it just starts right over again, and it's new and it's fresh and it's abundant. It's, you know, it's the cycles. It's just what life is. So your surprises and wishes are that you were surprised you even had to go through that. Let it go, okay? Wonderful things are happening. Believe in that, and just ask for the guidance. It'll always be there for you, and that's an honest truth. from my perspective, okay? And I don't know how it could come through a dream. It could come through a conversation or a song you hear. It could come from a friend that you haven't heard from in ages, because, you know, retrogrades bring back people and circumstances for us to learn and to be taught. But yeah, just remember that. So if you're surprised about how you're feeling this way, it's only temporary. It's nothing to concern yourself with, and it will change. 5 isn't terrible. It's halfway to 10, but you've been to 10, you'll be there again. It's really that simple. So you have a whole gamut here, I must say. And that kind of makes sense with the retrograde and everything, but I'm loving it. I love the transitions that you're going to be going through and the changing of thought processes, you know, from this to I am enough, I am worthy, and all is good in my world, okay? I figure whenever I'm down and out, the only way is up, which is a quote from one of the songs that I used to sing with my family. And I just think it's a beautiful one to sing over and over. It couldn't hurt. So those are your messages for the first half of the month. And I'm going to read you 2 oracles in closing. The first oracle is the beautiful Starseed oracle. Oh my gosh. I just picked one for the last reading of Virgo that I don't remember ever reading. And it could be my memory. But it really, really struck me. It got me very emotional. These are beautiful. They're messages of inspiration, like I said. They're sent from love. They're recognizing that we're all part of the whole, you know. We're all in this together. And just keeping us aware of the, you know, enormity and the unlimited possibilities in life, I guess, is the best way to describe it. But your message, beautiful Libras, for yourself, for all of your relationships, is Star Keeper. The words associated are cosmic ancestor, see the light by staying grounded. So important right now. Well, there's the grounded part of this 5 of Pentacles. Being real and just sitting with yourself and allowing this time during retrograde to really be introspective and to just, like I said, let go while being grounded, if that makes sense. Get into nature, get away from the things that disturb you or cause concerns, you know, because that's not going to help you at all. And I want to read to you what it says. Isn't that a gorgeous, gorgeous picture? Well, we're all star seeds, you know, we're all definite spirits. We're all definite light beings. We are, you know, renting these vehicles, if you will, for a short time. A lifetime is such a short time. And that's another big emphasis I like to share with people in my readings, because these feelings are real and they're necessary. And we all need them at times for hopefully shorter and shorter periods of time. Because there's just, life is fleeting, you know. So I'll read to you, like I said, what it says specifically for the Star Keeper. But I like it a lot. And interestingly enough, you know, the zodiac card for Aquarius, your fellow air sign that has Jupiter in it, which is very harmonious for you, is the star. So it's holding upon our wishes and dreams and knowing that we can create and manifest anything we truly want to. Well, this is Star Bath, so it can't be too far. Star Brothers, Star Family. There we go. You're an ancient keeper of the stars, here to anchor and seed your light in your unique way. You've likely been incarnating on Earth for some time, dedicated to an era of awakening and bringing about a long-awaited shift in the planet's evolution. We're at a tipping point now. The survival of Earth and all its species is coming to a head. The more grounded you remain during this transitional period, the more helpful you'll be. The more you tend to the flames of your own heart, the more love you'll anchor onto this planet. The wisdom of the stars is imprinted in your soul. The more soul fragments you can call home, the more the wisdom is seated here. You may be called to be different places in the world to anchor the light, perhaps by taking a trip or living in a certain location. You may also find yourself experiencing awakening symptoms. The more grounded you remain, the more stable Earth's energy will become, and the less reactive humanity will be. You're here for a double mission, to grow as an individual and as a part of the larger collective that's bringing about a shift in frequency. Trust that you can be in the world, but not of it, and lead a truly glorious life, Libras. I love it. There's change, there's transformation, there's all of this and more. And it's all just one big, huge cauldron that we're all a part of. But you get to pick how you want to live. You get to pick how grounded you want to be. And I think these are beautiful words, like I said, of wisdom. And they really are touching my heart a lot. I'm really quite perplexed on just how deeply this is resonating with me. And I'm hoping it is with you as well. Please let me know. If you have not followed me or subscribed or liked and would like to do so, it's a beautiful, simple way to support my channel. I really appreciate it, and I need to say that every time because I don't know. I know a lot of people like what I do and they've let me know, and a lot of people like it and they don't, recognize the importance and how it helps the channel to do those things for free. There's no cost involved. So yes, thank you for those that are helping and contributing, and thank you for those watching regardless, okay? Your final message is your oracle. That is the Super Attractor Manifestation deck. It's my OG deck. For any of you that have been watching me for any length of time, it's about creating the life we want into existence by emotionally feeling it and passionately bringing it into, tangible, practical existence. And so for you, in closing, beautiful Libras, you've got that ground chakra, that stable, present, powerful energy from the root chakra. Appreciation dissolves all blocks to the presence of my super attractor power. And you got it, man. And it was described to you. Take it in, really know it, okay? Be blown away at what happens and what you can create. And, I hope you have beautiful birthdays. Everything's going to be okay. That song, I have a wonderful t-shirt. Every little thing's going to be all right. And just enjoy, just take it in, enjoy the beautiful season that you represent. And come on back for your second half of the month reading, because I'll be here for you. Until then, thank you so much. Happy birthdays. Bye-bye for now.